We have recovered who we believe to be our Apollo Beach hero. Just before 1 p.m. this afternoon, a county group of maritime group was out on patrol, and they examine and fix manatee signs, and they were discovered Mr. Murray on a spoil island, which is about a mile away from the Apollo Beach Nature's Preserve. Our Marine unit was notified. They were already out there, so they went over there and they recovered the body of who we believed to be Mr. Murray, and he has been turned over to the medical examiner's office. Now, we feel confident that it is indeed Mr. Murray based on physical characteristic and attributes, the height, the weight, an article of clothing that he was wearing that evening, and a tattoo that he had on his right bicep that his wife and sister have since identified. But again, that ultimate identification will have to be made through the investigation by the medical examiner. To the Murray family, your husband, your brother, his actions were nothing less than heroic. He risked and ultimately gave his life for two complete strangers that were in need. To the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office Marine Unit, to our dive team, to our aviation that worked tirelessly and diligently throughout the weekend, thank you. You never gave up hope. You never gave up hope. This certainly isn't the outcome that any of us wanted, but we hope that the Murray family can get some peace and comfort knowing that there is some closure this evening. At this time, I'll try to take any questions I may.
Yeah, after I got at the incident, you emphasized the point that there's no swimming there, and that it's posted, and there's a reason why. Is there anything you can think that the county can do, the sheriff's office can do to do something that would actually prevent people from getting in the water there?
We've already been in contact with the county. I know they're diligently working on it. It was closed all weekend. It was closed all weekend to help us and assist us. At the same time, I know the county, this has drawn some attention to the county that they may have to implement some additional safety and some precautionary measures to make sure. I understand that some dogs like to go in there, but again, with the current being that strong, knowing that a short time later, less than an hour and a half, that the first two bodies we recovered were over a mile away, that shows you how strong that current is. I don't think there's ever a reason that any human being or animal should ever be that close to that water, knowing that that current is that strong coming from that Apollo Beach Nature Preserve in that channel, the way it comes through the Tico plant around there. I don't think anyone should be around that area.
There's some community fundraising going on to kind of wrap its arms around not only the family of the father and son, but also now Christophe. What's your message to community members, whether it's family, friends, or complete strangers, and they see, you know, a legitimate offering of financial support for these families in need now?
I tell you what, I'm constantly reminded why Tampa Bay is such a special place to live in. It's because it seems like every time there's an individual, a family, some charitable cause that needs to be fulfilled, this community steps up and does it. So I'm so proud of this community, and there's no doubt in my mind that Mr. Murray's family, along with the family that had peril in the water, they're both going to be taken care of. These lives will never be returned. But again, at this point, it's being comforted. And to see this Tampa Bay community wrap their big arms around these family members to make sure that they're okay, you're instantly reminded what makes Tampa Bay such a special community.
Sure. Do you have any background on what he did, family, anything?
I don't. Only thing we know is he's a Jamaican national who's here. He's a great guy in every sense of the word. And what do you say about somebody who's just relaxing in a nature preserve and sees someone struggling, has to know how dangerous it is? He saw the signs, no swimming, no swimming. They're posted throughout the park, but still jumped in instantaneously, without hesitation, jumped in to help that toddler and his father that evening. What do you say?
Any other questions? I know there's no swimming
That's a good question. I don't know. When I was out there, it was dark that evening. I did see the no swimming posted, and there was a bunch of wording underneath it. That's a great question. I don't know that.
Which the county is kind of looking into that. I know nothing can be happening instantly, but the county is kind of looking into possibly other measures?
There's no doubt in my mind that there'll be some additional safety measures put in place because of this incident. It's just unfortunately that something tragic like this has to happen, because it's absolutely beautiful out there.
And anything like this in the past?
Not that I'm aware of, not from that area. But this is a fairly new nature preserve as well. But from what I gather from the residents down there, one that a lot of people use, love to go down there and use it as a dog park. It's part of everyone's daily exercise regimen. They love it down there. But to my knowledge, this is the first type of incident that we've had down there.
Sheriff, as you mentioned, this is certainly not the outcome anyone had hoped for, and the disappointment must extend to those who were taking part in the search as well. Could you describe the sheer amount of effort that was put into the search this weekend?
Countless hours. You think about the fuel cost for our aviation unit that never stopped. Our dive team that continued. There were dive team members that didn't want to go home. There was our Marine unit members that came in. They were off and they came in and they refused to go home, and we let them work. They wanted to be out there. They never gave up hope. You know, as the contact that I had with them all throughout the weekend, it was always, we're going to do what it takes, we're going to do what it takes, and we had to make them go home at some point. We had to make them rest at some point, and that current still has never slowed down. So even with the professional equipment that our dive team had, that our Marine unit has, you could imagine the physical demands that were placed on them.
Last question. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much.